What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the X-Transbots next generation Jocund, or a G2 version of Groove. So this was sent to me by the Chosen Prime. Thanks for sending these out. This is a Chosen Prime exclusive for TFCon Toronto 2022, which is coming up very soon, right after this video comes up. Let's take a look at this. I did do an unboxing. We'll go into a little bit more detail. There's a couple of things you need to do right out of the box. So number one, you can come to the back of the legs here, pull down on this panel here, rotate this inwards, and then rotate that back in. And that'll allow you to bend the knees. So you need to do that out of box. Same on this side, pull it up and out, pull that down, and then put that back in. All right. The other thing you might want to do, is you don't have to, but it's a choice. You can, if you don't like these pieces sticking out up here, which I personally don't, you can pull down on these. Rotate the wheel in, and then pull down on these, and basically get those all the way down. And we can get this attached back to here. And now you can have it kind of stored or sorted without those bars sticking up. Me personally, I think it looks better, and then you can also fold this windshield down. So I prefer it that way. I mean, it's of course your choice, your robot, but me personally, I'm going to have it like that. I think it's just a little bit cleaner. But let's take a look at this guy. He is covered in paint, pretty much 100%. So the head is black paint, the silver paint on the face. You got that metallic blue for the eyes. Yellow paint throughout the body. Let's see, is this paint? Yeah, it looks like paint. Paint throughout the legs, silver paint here on the detail, the teal paint here for the feet, and we'll see more of that teal paint in the vehicle mode. Here's the back with this configuration. Again, I prefer this configuration. We'll see more of the detail when we get to the motorcycle mode. It does, of course, come with some accessories. So you get these two blasters here. They're painted in black. It may be the paint, I'm not sure, but it does seem to fit better than the original version. So they just tab in right here. And those are nice and sturdy and secure. So I think it is the paint that's keeping them on there. But that fits nicely. You also get his blaster here, done in also black paint. It is a tight fit. You can see there's a little bit of yellow paint on there. I mean, you're not going to see that once it's in his hand, but it is a very tight fit getting it in here. And you just kind of have to work it in there. But there you go. Get this pegged in, and now you can hold his blaster. All right, now you do get some alternate heads here. Here's the stock face, just kind of a straight face there. There it is with kind of a open mouth, kind of yelling face. And there it is with sort of a straight face, but he's got a wider nose. So just bringing back this original. It's just a slightly different shape to the face. And then lastly, you get this one here, again, in a slightly different face shape and nose shape. Me personally, I prefer this one the most, so I'm going to leave that one on there. As far as articulation, it is the same as the original Jocund, but we'll go over it here. The head, again, rotates on this joint here. If you go too far, it will pop up due to this little tab back here. But you can get it at least rotated this far, this way. It goes up to there, down to there. You have a rotation at the shoulder. It goes all the way around. The joint here on the shoulder that goes up to there. And a butterfly joint goes in and out to there. You have a double jointed elbow. It does get you past 90 degrees, but the way it's designed, it's a little strange. You can't actually get it. It's just a little weird, but it does get past 90 degrees. It's just a little limited due to the sculpt, so it's a little strange, but you do get that. Rotation at the wrist. You have a single pin for the hands, and then the pointer is on a separate joint, so you can point. It's a little bit curled there, but you can do that. It looks like they painted the hands as well this time. Continuing down, you have rotation at the waist all the way around. Ab crunch gets you all the way down there. Nice tight joint there this time, at least. I do get a nice tight ab crunch, so you can hold it at any position, so that's good. Legs go up to there, and again, nice tight joints there. This time, back to there. Out to the side on friction, again, they've done a good tolerance there on those. Rotation at the thigh. Now that we've moved that piece out of the way, you get a just shy of 90-degree bend at the knee, up to there. I do also like how this piece kind of reveals that piping, so it just continues that look. That's kind of cool. You have ankle tilts out to there, and let's see, do you have a pivot? No pivot, but you do have a toe tilt and a heel tilt, so you can get some movement on those. And for a quick size comparison, there he is next to MP44 Optimus Prime, the Mastermind Creations version of First Aid, and the previous Chosen Prime exclusive from LA, their version of Pyro from Fans Hobby. And he fits in well, obviously, with the Masterpiece scale. Now, the only other version we have of the Protected Bots from these guys is Fuzz, or their version of Streetwise. I'm going to bring him in later in vehicle mode, but he does scale well with that set, of course. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his motorcycle mode. Since we've already done this review and we've transformed him before, we're going to do that off camera. If you're interested in how to transform him, I'll put a link to my review at the end of this one. So let's get him transformed and we'll be right back. Before I get this fully transformed, I just want to point out there is a QC Pass sticker here. It says QC Pass 02. X-Transbots have been doing this recently in the last couple of releases, but this one I do have pretty good quality, so I just wanted to point that out. And there we have G2 Jocund in his vehicle mode. Really quite beautiful. You got the translucent headlights here on the front, the yellow blinkers, yellow light here. It does still say 95-5, I think. You got some black and silver detail. A lot of detail on this motorcycle. It's really well done. All the detail here on the wheel with the brake and everything. Engine detail here says number 80. You have the pedals here. All of this piping detail here. You got the exhaust pipes that do connect. It's part of the transformation. Rubber tires and black wheels. So I think they changed. These were silver wheels on the original. They're black wheels. They still don't really roll all that well, but it does. You can roll it around. It's just they're a little bit tight. Speaking of the wheel, I remember in the first version, this would actually fold under pressure. This one doesn't. There's nice tight tolerances. In fact, all the tolerances seem to be a little bit tighter this time, so that's good news. But this tends to collapse, so as you put it down, it collapses on that. Not a huge deal. I wish there was a locking point, a locking mechanism to keep that locked in so it didn't slide down like that. Coming to the back here, you have more detail. Red taillights with silver accents, silver detail here. I mean, the whole thing is just decked out everywhere you look. Really nice details on this bike. Now, you do get some weapon storage. Unfortunately, it still doesn't fit. The tabs here are just a little too small, so you're supposed to use these slots here to fit them on here. And same problem as the original, it just doesn't fit. But you can take these and store them right here on the side of the vehicle. So not exactly what it was intended, but you can do that. And then the other handgun, I don't think it stores. I mean, you can kind of fake it. You can open up this little compartment here. Yeah, so you can fake it. You can secretly sort of store that in there. But there you go for some weapon storage. I do wish it attached here, but as long as it attaches somewhere, I think it's okay. But there you go. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Transform Element Optimus Prime and the X-Transbots G2 version of Fuzz, their version of Streetwise. And looks really nice together with the colors. Obviously, the size is a much bigger bike because it's got to become the leg. So we know it's going to look a little funky in terms of scale, but I'm okay with it because we know it's got to scale with that leg. But there you go for comparison. So final thoughts on the X-Transbots G2 version of Jocund. Let's start with the positives. I think it looks pretty cool in the robo mode and in the bike mode. The color scheme isn't quite what I was expecting, especially compared to what's on the box and the actual G2 colors of this guy. But it does look cool, and it does definitely nail that, wild colors of G2. I also like the accessories. The guns all look good. I like the fact that you get the two guns here that mount on the legs, and you get the handgun, and these all painted well and sculpted well. Everything is pretty good tolerances this time, so I had a little bit of trouble with tolerances on my first version, the G1 version of Jocund, but this one seems to be toleranced pretty well. Everything's nice and tight and seems to work. Negatives-wise, it's basically the exact same negatives I had before. The head, if you rotate too far, now on this one you can kind of fake it. You can see I had it just sort of popping up, but you can kind of fake it and make it pose, but it will pop out of this joint. So I wish they had fixed that little issue. Not a huge deal, but just kind of an annoyance. And the only other thing I would say is this front wheel in vehicle mode. A little bit, some way to lock it in would be nice. But other than those things, I do think it's pretty cool. I do recommend it. If you're a G2 fan, of course you're going to have to pick this up. There's a lot of G2 out there. So this set is definitely a must-have for G2 fans. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.